with you, which means that over the next 1 hour, we're going to be bringing you all of the country's top breaking news stories. Our first story is a heartbreaking one that came out of the capital a few hours ago. A story of a brutal murder case, very similar to the Shraddha murder case that emerged out of Mumbai a few weeks ago. The body of a 25-year-old woman, Nikki Yadav, was found inside a freezer. This is at a dhaba in southwest Delhi's Najafgarh on Tuesday. Now, police say the woman was killed 2 to 3 days ago. The dhaba owner and the accused, Sahil Gehlot, his father actually owns the dhaba, has been arrested. Now, the investigation has revealed that Gehlot and the victim had been in a relationship for almost 5 years. Nikki was against the idea that Sahil had been told by his family to marry someone else. Now, the accused initially tried to mislead the police, but on sustained interrogation, he disclosed that he'd killed his girlfriend on the intervening night of 9th and 10th Feb, so just a few days ago after they had a fight. But what's particularly shocking about this story is that after murdering his girlfriend and then taking care of disposing her body carefully, he proceeded to marry another woman on the same day. Meanwhile, Nikki's father has demanded the death sentence for Sahil Gehlot. Let's take a very quick look at a report on the story. We'll connect with reporters for more details too, and we'll bring you a timeline.
Shocking details coming out from the Delhi police sources at this point in time. So yes, this incident happened on the intervening night of 9th and 10th February. Remember, on the 9th of February was the engagement of Sahil Gehlot, and on the 10th of February was the marriage of Sahil Gehlot. So yes, on the 9th of February, on the intervening 9th and 10th February, he strangles his live-in girlfriend who they were living in for almost 4 to 5 years now. They initially met in the year 2018, and since then they have been living together. So this incident happened on the intervening night of 9th and 10th February at Kashmiri Gate, where Sahil strangled Nikki Yadav to death with a phone charger that was present in his vehicle itself. And after that, from Kashmiri Gate, he comes down to this place at which I am standing right now. I'm standing at Mitron village, at the very dhaba in which it has been alleged the body of Nikki Yadav was found out here. So yes, Sahil drove all the way from Kashmiri Gate to this dhaba out here in Mitron village in Najafgarh. That is approximately a distance of 40 kilometers. And in the meanwhile, he kept the body of Nikki Yadav in the front seat itself, and he went around driving fearlessly. And in that duration of 40 kilometers, no one actually raised any suspicion that a dead body was lying in the front seat of that vehicle. And once reaching out here in his dhaba, he went ahead and kept that body, in fact concealed that body in a fridge at his dhaba.
Okay, let's take a very quick look at the timeline, and let's take a look at how each of these incidents played out. As we just told you, Nikki and Sahil, this was the name of the couple, both of them. Feb 10th, the cops received a secret input that Sahil had murdered Nikki. Now, so the background information we have here, as you know, is that the two were in a live-in relationship. It's apparently someone in the locality who possibly informed police after noticing that Sahil had gotten married to someone else and that these two had lived together for a while. Now, what the police did is they didn't file, there was no missing person complaint that was filed for Nikki that was registered at all. Right after this, as we're going to show you in just a second, the police launched a search operation in which they then apprehended Sahil. They did have, as we've just told you, some inkling. They were able to piece together details, particularly because Sahil was the last person who had been seen with Nikki. Now, Sahil's phone was switched off. He was not at home, as you can see over here. And we're just going to bring you more details. On Feb 10th, he was nabbed at the Care Village crossing. Now, this is what's taken place so far. We're going to bring you more details of the investigation itself in just a second. But before we connect with reporters to bring you more details on this entire story, we are going to go over now to the timeline of the entire event. As we told you, the couple had been living with each other for 5 years now. Not for 5 years. They'd known each other and they dated each other for 5 years. Sahil's family was not aware of the entire relationship. Neither was hers. However, Nikki had told some people close to her that she was in a relationship. According to police, Sahil had not done similar. Reports indicate that when Sahil did attempt to tell his family some details, they had said that they don't approve, which is why the marriage had been fixed up for him. Now, on your screens right now, the white car in which they fought. This is the car in which, after fighting, Sahil attempted to strangle Nikki with a cord. After successfully strangling her, he reportedly drove around the area for a few hours. After driving around for a few hours, he then decided to go to the dhaba. The dhaba was closed at the time. Let's go over very quickly to my colleague Anshul for more details. Anshul, on our audience's screens right now, we're showing them visuals of the white car in which the couple allegedly fought, after which Sahil strangled his girlfriend, Nikki, of many years, and then proceeded to figure out how to dispose of her body. Can you bring us more details? This car has obviously been impounded right now, but bring us more details, please.
So yes, the prima facie investigation, what has come out that it was in a fit of rage that Sahil decided to kill Nikki, because remember, Sahil was getting engaged on the 9th of February and he was supposed to get married on the 10th of February, and this was a secret. He had not informed Nikki about his engagement or the marriage. So on the 9th of February, when the engagement happened, he asked, Nikki came to know about this, and they met in the national capital. From there, they went towards the Kashmiri Gate area, where an argument broke out between them regarding the marriage and how Sahil had managed to conceal all this information from her for the past many years, since they have been living in a live-in relationship. After that, the argument breaks out. Sahil got angry, and in a fit of rage, he takes out the data cable that was present in his car, and he strangles Nikki to death right there at the Kashmiri Gate. Now, from Kashmiri Gate, he decides to hide the body of Nikki, because he knew that he would get caught red-handed if the body was kept right there. So he decides to hide that body, and from Kashmiri Gate, he decides to come out here at the place which I am standing. This is the Mitro village, and this is the dhaba at which I am standing. This dhaba belongs to Sahil himself, and it is out here that from Kashmiri Gate to out here, he drove approximately for 40 kilometers with the dead body staying inside the car. In fact, the body was in the front seat of that vehicle, is what we are being told. So he drove for approximately 40 kilometers from Kashmiri Gate to out here in Mitron village, and here he decides to keep the body of Nikki in a fridge out here, and after concealing her body in a fridge out here, he decides to drive home. He parks his vehicle at his residence, and from there he gets involved in the functions that were happening in his house, because remember, on the 10th of February was his marriage. So yes, the Delhi police got an information from a secret source, is what we are being told, that such an incident has happened, and the Delhi police decides to investigate this entire matter. When they reach the residence of Sahil, Sahil was not present at his house on the 10th of February, and hence a search operation was launched. And in that search operation, Sahil was found in a nearby village itself. From there, he was arrested, in fact taken into custody by the police. And during the initial interrogation, what we are being told, that Sahil actually tried to mislead the police. And once the police did stringent interrogation on Sahil, he agreed that he had killed Nikki, and he had concealed the body of Nikki at this very dhaba out here. So yes, all these details have come to the fore. Now the police has seized that vehicle that was used in this entire incident. That vehicle is being sent for forensic examination. In fact, forensic experts are going to come to the vehicle in the next few hours, and they are going to examine the details inside the vehicle. On the other hand, the body of Nikki has been sent for post-mortem report. So yes, these details are going to come out in the next few days. But yes, as of now, the Delhi police is trying to build a case against Sahil, because remember, the only evidence that the initial evidence that the police had was the statement of Sahil, and now the police is trying to corroborate that statement with evidences. So yes, in the next few days,